Hello, we're back. I'm Stamford Chidge. This is the Chelsea Football Fancast, and I'm joined tonight, as ever, by the lovely Sophie Rose.
Hi, everyone.
Star of stage, screen, and Chelsea Fans channel. And this is kind of her moonlighting, really, where she does the Chelsea Fancast. Am I right?
Yes.
I'm not going to even force you into what's your favourite one, because I shall probably go home crying. But anyway, It's great to see Sophie, as it always is. Particularly when we lost, she kind of cheers me up on a Monday. Now, the other people who cheer me up on a Monday are, of course, the lovely Charlie Skillen from the Mail.
And Chelsea Fans channel as well.
And the Chelsea Fans channel as well. Is there nothing? I mean, it's nothing sacred. It's nothing. I mean, I've only been doing this flaming show for 7 years. Got Sophie on it, got Charlie.
Man
the
and
next
boy.
thing I know is Sophie's on the Chelsea Fans channel. Charlie's on the Chelsea Fans channel. Are you trying to tell me something, Rory? You know? I know I'm getting old. Don't worry. I'll retire and then you can have it all right?
Sorry, mate. But
It's all right. I know. I still love you, Charlie. Don't
Thanks,
worry about
mate.
it.
Yeah, I'm here as well.
Actually, I haven't got to you yet. Actually, before I do get to Dr Mart, who's obviously feeling a bit needy tonight, I should add that I actually do really love the Chelsea Fans channel. I love your pieces that you do, Rory, on there. I love Rory's pieces, but of course, I reserve all of my love and fondness for Sophie's bits on a Saturday.
Thank you. Well, Saturdays, Tuesdays.
Is that how you do them all, do you? Do you do every game?
Every single
No
one
way.
of them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
You
well, we
never
haven't.
interviewed me.
We've not got away games yet. We haven't seen you, have I?
It's because I
But
hide.
but you should definitely come on. I need some good. We get the funny ones. That's
I'm only
great.
going to come on and do a fan cam with you if I get star billing. I want the respect that I deserve and have earned. You
Star
know.
billing?
I don't want any of this. Here's some random Chelsea nut who's going to talk.
No, I'll
nonsense
say
to
this
me.
is. I'll say this is
the legend
Stamford
that is
Chidge.
Chelsea, the Chelsea Fancast Stamford Chidge. I want a bit of that.
And I'll be
otherwise
like,
I'm not playing.
he knows his shizzle.
Onions, shizzle. I like that.
I don't like
do.
shizzle. I don't even know why I said that's vile.
I know my shizzle now.
Onions. He knows his onions.
Down with the youth, because I know my shizzle. Should we talk more football, Soph?
Let's talk more football.
All right.
So
Okay.
I'm still here.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we've got Dr Mart. Dr Mart, also known as Felix McGath, also known as Penfold. Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have to confess that I've never heard of the Chelsea Fan channel. or whatever it's
Martin,
called.
you get drummed out of here.
Martin,
for not
I'm
knowing
gonna.
that.
I've never heard of
hello.
You should interview Smart.
Can someone send me a link or something?
Yeah.
I'll send
Great,
you.
man.
Okay,
Books
basically,
of links.
it's the show I
They're
present.
about
I don't know what it
Smart.
is.
They're about
I've never heard of
1,000
it.
times more popular than we are.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Well
it's
done
different.
then.
It's different content, isn't it?
Well
We do
done
fan
then.
stuff.
It's all right.
And
You
this is the
don't
show.
need to make excuses, Soph. I know where
I
I
love
stand.
the show.
I know
Don't
where I
be silly.
stand.
It's down to leadership.
I've got no fans.
It's down to leadership and team selection.
Okay, Smart. I think I know what you're saying there. You're fired. Anyway, we've also got the lovely Dan Silva and my mate from Brazil, the boy from Brazil. We've got Felipe in the house wearing his
Felipe.
Chelsea Fancast T-shirt.
Yeah,
Look
he
at that.
does. And Felipe, may I also say I love your beard.
Oh, thank you.
Hang on a minute. You don't like my beard, but you like his beard.
But yours is multicoloured.
Well, that's because I'm old and I've got wisdom grey hairs.
It's a little bit
Oh,
different.
hold on a minute. His is multicoloured. Yeah, but you've got some more of a.
A Chewbacca touch.
Chewbacca, like it. Yeah.
He looks like a Wookiee and I don't.
Oh, I have a Wookiee in my arm.
Are you going to come to Wembley if we win?
No, I will be back in Brazil.
But you'll be
Oh,
watching,
no,
won't
big
you?
shame.
Yeah,
Can I ask somebody watching on our monitor? The celery on Felipe's T-shirt looks brown.
It's actually
When I look
green.
at the T-shirt, it's actually green. But is
colour
that just
correct.
our monitor, or is it coming across
It's
like that on
probably
the
that.
TV?
That monitor's a
Out
bit
in
I think
TV
it's
ropey.
our
land.
monitor.
That monitor's a bit ropey, mate. Anyway, we are going to talk about football because we've wasted at least 4 minutes talking about utter nonsense.
And
well,
the
actually, no,
quality
we
of the
haven't.
celery.
Chelsea Fans channel is not utter nonsense. I mean, it is in all seriousness. I do love it. I love Rory. I love Soph, and I love Charlie on it. It's great. And you should check it out, obviously. Now, what I really want to talk about, I'm sorry, chaps, a bit of a moan, really. One of the things that's really grated with me and a lot of the Chelsea supporters this week is very much around Jose Mourinho's comments again that he came out with about the support. I've written an article today, my weekly International Business Times UK Sport article goes in a bit to the Bradford game, but also talks about this too. The whole tenet of this part for me is really what is Jose Mourinho up to? But before we get to that, I'll just remind you of some of the comments that he's made this week. If you remember, before the Liverpool game last Tuesday, he kicked off about not singing the Gerrard song. Now, most of the people that I go to the games with couldn't agree more. We actually can't stand everybody singing the Steve Gerrard song, but only when it's not involving Liverpool. If it's involving Liverpool, it's your duty, it is your right, it is your responsibility as a Chelsea supporter to wind those horrible Mickey Mouses up and sing it every minute. So, Jose, you're wrong. You can't come out and say that. Now, I said that on last week's show, so I'm not going to go into that again, but we know it's wrong. He also basically gave Gerrard, he gave us a hard time for saying we should respect Gerrard. No, we shouldn't. Gerrard is the enemy. He plays for the enemy team. He is not a Chelsea player. He does not wear blue. He deserves none of my respect, and he's not getting it. And that would be un-Chelsea not to do that. The other things, he applauded the Liverpool fans after the game. He walks off and he gave all of that to the cop. And then if it couldn't get any worse, he then comes out with... basically, apparently, if we can give 25% of the emotion, and I think by that he means the passion and noise that the Anfield crowd gives to Liverpool, then we will be doing a good job tomorrow night. Well, forgive me if I'm wrong, Jose, but I wasn't there, but I did hear it on the TV, and basically Chelsea supporters were brilliant that night. They outsung Liverpool for all, but I'd say the first 10 minutes of the game, and then after Liverpool equalised, they woke up and they sang a bit, but all the bit in between, it was all Chelsea. He also said that there were only 1,000 Chelsea fans in the away end. There were 4,000. It's a Carling Cup match. You get a big allocation. We have 4,000 there. He also said that between 5,000 and 10,000 Liverpool supporters are going to be at the Bridge tomorrow. No, they won't, because they get the same allocation as we do. So that's 4,000. So basically, he's coming out with a lot of guff that is factually inaccurate. And frankly, from a man as intelligent as Jose Mourinho, I expect, nay, demand a lot more. It's just not good enough. Get your facts right.
I'm confused at why he's making these comments. I mean, we need applauding out of all of that, applauding the Liverpool fans. That's something that you cannot do. I don't really care what.
Well, you do if you're a sportsman, but I'm sorry, we're not sports people. We're supporters, and it's you know.
But I thought the Chelsea fans were pretty loud at Anfield.
Yeah,
they were brilliant. They were brilliant, mate.
I mean,
Charlie was there.
Yeah.
You lot were fan. I mean, I noticed it massively.
I mean, yeah, a lot of non-Chelsea supporters did. I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't the loudest away end I've ever been in, but to come out with those comments, and you say he applauded Liverpool fans, but he didn't come over to the Chelsea fans. So I mean, that's kind of a double whammy, really. Frankly, I think the comments are disgraceful. Whether there's some mind games at work or not, I think it's very poor when people have paid, taken days off work, stood there in the cold and whatever. I and a lot of other people didn't go back to London till 3 a.m. There's lots of people who got back after me. People spend their time and money, and to say there was only 1,000 people there is disgraceful, and I'm glad he's not my accountant. I think it's very, very poor. And in those quotes that there was no mention of Chelsea fans. We took decent numbers up there, and it was a decent atmosphere. And when I got into work, really not very long after I've got off the train at Euston, like I said, everyone was saying that you could hear Chelsea fans on the telly for most of the game. And frankly, Anfield, as it always is, unless it's a really, really big night. For bread and butter games.
Where's your famous atmosphere?
My experience of my many trips to Anfield are that they sing the old Jerry and the Pacemakers song at the beginning.
The show tune.
And they sing when they score. The rest of the time, they don't make a sound.
Absolutely.
The only thing
like most big clubs' home grounds, Stamford Chidge, unfortunately, you could say the same.
But the only thing about them is that when they do sing, they coordinate. So all the three sounds sing together, and it is loud.
It is. Yeah. But they weren't like that. I mean, I'd say overall we outsung them. Dan, would you agree?
I was going to ask Charlie how many Gerrard songs were sung during the match, because Dan Levine tweeted, "Steven Gerrard, we lost you the league. Collectively take a breath." I don't know whether he was kind of like, I'm saying don't say it, but in respect, all the Chelsea fans were singing Gerrard songs, almost like a reverse psychology.
Yeah, but who cares? I actually like that Gerrard song more now after Mourinho said that. It's not stick to coaching the team, stick to why. Yeah. Stick to why you got outplayed by Brendan Rodgers' side in the second half.
You say that, but what is he up to?
I don't know what he's up to. It's not like Jose Mourinho.
It's not. Mourinho's been in charge for some incredible nights, home and away. The Barcelona 4-2 game, just off the top of my head.
But he was here last year, so he would remember the PSG.
The PSG game was amazing atmosphere.
Huge. The Atletico Madrid game was pretty huge.
Yeah.
I mean, the PSG game particularly, I thought was rocking.
Denver Bar scored, the place just went off.
I nearly got chucked out that night.
Did you?
I mean,
I was a bit battered before.
Liverpool way showed his passion,
touchline. Exactly. The famous slip game last season, he come charging down the thing.
Yeah.
But I think
Something's going on that we don't know about.
I just think it's poor, and even if he is trying to create a reaction from the players, or whatever, do not take it out on people that have taken time off work,
agree with you.
spent money, gone up to the other end of the country on a Tuesday night. It's ridiculous.
Sang their socks off.
At the end of the day, whether they did or didn't.
Smart. Do you think he's trying to motivate the support? I mean, we were talking about this before we went on air, and we thought maybe it's his attempt to kind of wind us all up. Well, I agree.
It is a strange way of doing it, and I think
to have a way at the away support, go at the away supporters is out of order.
But I think I said this earlier on. Is that the article I wrote today goes into this in more detail, but Jose's kind of The thing about Jose is he's absolutely all about the team. Everything that he does is for the good of the team.
Yeah.
The team. Now the team for me is the players, the manager, and the supporters. That is the team.
Club. Yeah. It's the club.
The club is the infrastructure around that. The team is because we are the people that work to get the results. The manager to determine the tactics and everything else, choose the players to perform on the pitch, and us to give them the support that gives them a little bit of an edge. So why? You never hear him coat the team off. He will do anything he can in a post-match press conference to deflect, to avoid the team being attacked in any way. So, are you saying that we're not part of the team, Jose? Is that what you're saying?
No, he should find a way of doing that which doesn't alienate people that have travelled all across the country. I think to put this as to say this is some sort of master plan to get a big support at Anfield.
It doesn't stack up to me, Charlie.
It's giving him too much credit. And similarly, like we said,
it doesn't stack
with this
up.
Performance, I think that was giving him too much credit to say that was part of some.
Well, I mean, number one is his facts were wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
and also it doesn't necessarily work. And 2, 3, it's attacking the very people that you shouldn't be attacking.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Chelsea. Chelsea supporters were there before Mourinho. They're going to be there after Mourinho. Chelsea exists whether Mourinho's there or not, as we've seen. Mourinho is not the embodiment of Chelsea Football Club. He is an incumbent that does fantastically well and wouldn't want anyone else there. To have a go at people that are meant to be the lifeblood of the club.
Meant to be. They are.
Whether he's there or not, before him, since him, in the interim when he wasn't here, it's completely out of order.
Dan, you were champing at the bit.
I was going to say, maybe it's a very simplistic view and maybe completely off-centre, but is he trying to make us angry and angry like we are now? We're talking about it, we're going to think, what? We are passionate. Let's prove Jose wrong. Because, he, as you say, he deflects from the team. He'll never criticise a player openly, all behind closed doors. So maybe he's thinking, what? Let me get these fans riled up. Let me get them really angry. Let me get them passion. Let me get them singing.
Well, it's not our job to prove him wrong.
But it's not working. It's making me feel... I know what you're saying, but it's making me... Well, if anything, I'm getting... No, it's making me angry, but not in a way that I'm going to want to sing. If he was to come out and apologise, I reckon the whole of the bridge would be...
I think
it's not working. He said this on Tuesday or Wednesday, didn't he? Support on Saturday was a bit.
It was flat. It was flat. It was Bradford. Everyone expected we turn up with 4-0.
Look. You see, the thing is that what he fails to understand is exactly the same criticism that we levelled at him when he did it after QPR. It's not just a case of winding us up so we make a bit more noise. There are fundamental, structural reasons, substantive reasons why the atmosphere and the support at Stamford Bridge is absolute pants. And there are. We all know what they are. It's ticket pricing. It's the gentrification of football. It's the overbearing steward and threatening with bans. All of these things. That is how you address the atmosphere, not by Jose coating the fans off. And he's got. I mean, I applauded him after QPR for at least allowing us to have it on the agenda, so that we could go back to the club and say, "Oi, if he thinks it's bad too, we need to do something about it." But do you know what the real legacy of that first rant that Jose had was? We now have to put up with every blooming away fans coming to Stamford Bridge going, "Mourinho's right, your fans are shite," every blooming game. Thank you, Jose. That's the legacy of that.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, Stamford Bridge, I wouldn't say for your bread and butter sort of West Brom games or Bradford in the Cup, I wouldn't say it's any worse than any other big club. It's a Premier League-wide problem.
I think Rory Smith in his ESPN article, oddly, not his Times one. I mean, he also made the point. Maybe it's because things are, from what I understand, actually pretty harmonious inside the club at the moment.
Yep.
On the whole, we're doing pretty well on the field. We're getting the transfers right. I would say that the management structure in terms of the club, not Mourinho, are probably better than they have been for a long while. Marina Granovskaya is clearly a smart cookie. Bruce is a laid-back, decent chap, and Ron's no longer there. So, you know, things are pretty stable, basically. And he doesn't like that. He likes disharmony. He likes somebody to fight against. And maybe he's trying to fight with somebody he thinks he can get away with because he thinks that we unconditionally love him.
Well, yeah.
Here's the question, Charlie. How is this going to affect his relationship with the supporters if he keeps doing this? What do you think's going to happen?
It'll be negative. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I think less of him since the comments, certainly. I'm not one of these. Like I said, he is not the embodiment of Chelsea Football Club. He is not infallible. He made bad decisions on Saturday.
Yes.
He's made bad decisions before. He's said silly things before. That said, I absolutely love him. I don't want any other manager.
Nor do I.
I think he's the perfect manager for our club. I wanted him back ever since he left, really. Whatever his, whatever reasons anyone's trying to make of it, whether he's trying to create a bit of chaos, whatever, there's just no excuse.
Maybe he's unhappy with some parts of the performance and he's taking
deflecting again.
There's no excuse.
Here's the thing:
money.
if you're going to coat the fact, it's a very risky thing to do. I mean, everybody knows at a football club that you don't pick on the fans. Yeah. You don't, for so many reasons. We've been into many of them in this part. But, I mean, if he's really got, there are so many things I agree with him about the support, particularly at home. It's absolutely pants, and I hate it, and we all know the reasons why. But if he's got a real beef with it, like you do with your players, you don't coat the players off publicly and run to the press and coat them off. You do it in the dressing room. You do it mano a mano. You give them the courtesy of doing it in private. Well, you could do that with the supporters. There are plenty of supporters.
You can't do one-to-one with all of them.
He can. There are plenty of websites, podcasts, fanzines, supporters' organisations. There's a supporters' trust.
He could come on the benches.
Well, that's public. That's my point. He could talk to any one of them or all of them over an evening, and he could sit there and he could say, "I am not happy because of this. What is the real situation? Yeah. How can we address it together?" And you keep it private. You don't have to go public about it.
No. Only Jose knows that.
It was poor.
Only Jose knows what's going on in his head, and we're guessing. We don't know.
Do we accept that we've got a maverick manager, and for all the absolute brilliance he has, he's got these oddball moments? We accept it. We've got Jose, so with that, we have to accept these stupid, misplaced comments, misguided criticisms, whatever they might be, because we've got Jose, and that is the bigger picture of Mourinho. He's done it all. He's done it at Madrid. He's done it at Milan.
Yeah, totally.
We accept it because it's Jose. And,
I do. I mean, I share a lot of people's anger and I share a lot of people's frustration, not least because of what Charlie was saying. People spend an awful lot of money to follow the team. They get an awful lot of abuse from the home fans when they go anywhere, which is part of football. They spend an awful lot of their money doing it, and that deserves a bit of respect from somebody who I suspect has never drunk 6 pints before a game and then gone onto the terraces, screamed his lungs out, got abuse, and then had to get home at 4 o'clock in the morning, have 2 hours sleep before he goes to work the next day. Having said all of that, what I would love to say, I echo what Charlie and everybody else on here has said tonight. I desperately want Jose Mourinho to stay at this club for 10, 15, 20 years. I want him to build a legacy like Ferguson did at United. He is undoubtedly the best manager in the world, and he will win us trophies. And I want him to stay. I don't want him to have a paddy and throw his toys out the pram and go because of something silly like this. But the last thing I want to say, which we should all say, is happy birthday to Jose Mourinho.
Yes.
After 3, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Jose. Happy birthday to you. See, yeah, well, exactly.
He's a jolly good fella.
We do. You weren't expecting that, were you? See,
well, I'm hoping, do you know what I mean? I'm hoping that he takes Saturday's match as a big wake-up call to change the attitude of just everything. Players, him, club, whatever. And we come out and it's a completely different Chelsea team.
We do love him, really. I don't want, to stop coating the fans off, Jose. It's really silly.
Yeah.
You're 52 now.
You're 52. Come on, you're a big man. I know you're in good shape, but for me, it's a full-time job. Anyway, enough of that. After the break, it's going to be all about Sophie Rose. Oh, goodness gracious me,
excited? And my dream.
We'll see you in a minute.